And for me, I used jobs to make money, to take the money, to buy real estate, to take the cash flow, to park it into dividend stocks, to create these multiple streams. Yes. Hey, man, Gerald Peters, welcome back to the channel. Do me a solid, man. Click a like or leave me a comment, please. And if you enjoy it, dig it, hey, follow along. Hey, I've been buying single-family houses, 2-bedroom, 1-bath is my specialty, all of my adult life. And I've been taking that money and pushing it into the stock market and dividend stocks and developing my skills as a trader. And now I've been trying to teach as many other people this blue-collar way to becoming a millionaire. I hope you enjoy it. Yes. What is up, MFG? You already know. Man, whatever it is you think about, whatever it is you focus on, that's the shit that grows and manifests in your life. I got people staying at my place here in New Orleans, pretty small, so I've been sneaking off and letting them use my room where I have my whiteboard and stuff. So I've been just talking, trying to give some advice. And man, if you've well, before we get into that, I was flipping through some of my old notebooks, man. I was trying to think, man, like to give you some. And I wrote in here, create a philosophy and position yourself. No one can take your work ethic. Push and lean on people. You don't have to get it right, man. Just get it going. Be slow to outsource. Meaning you work on it, you play with it, you break it. Wait till you get pretty stressed before you start looking for ways to do it, to outsource it. Make sure you've maximized your time, your energy, your effort, because maybe you need to make it better. Maybe it's not time yet. Or maybe it is, I don't know. Rarely does life give us perfect timing when opportunities appear. Life actually is hard and filled with trouble. You must resist waiting for the right time to pursue financial independence. Truth is, there is no right time other than right now. Live each moment in pursuit of financial independence. You must believe it's possible, even when your current circumstances may and likely say otherwise. It wouldn't be called faith if it looked easy. Circumstances can change at any moment, for the good or bad. Never forget, God is friendly to your plans. The universe itself wants you to succeed. It wants to help you. And that's where gratitude comes in. And that's just a philosophy. It's a way of least resistance. It's a way of looking at the world, knowing you're going to have troubles. You're going to have to push on people. You're going to have to lean on people. But you don't have to take advantage of people. You don't have to steal. You don't have to lie. Science again, it says there's not even competition, man. That there's enough abundance for everyone. We just need to operate inside of gratitude and creativity. And that money, all of the money that you want, is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbook, credit cards of other people. You have to interact with people. And the truth is, money comes from service or giving to people. And if you're focused on giving to other people, if you have a mission that's bigger than you, that's focused on other people, you don't have a lot of time to worry about yourself. Science Get Rich says, chapter 9, there's 2 chapters that talk about will, and that's willpower. He says to set about getting rich in a scientific way, you do not need to try to apply your willpower to anything outside of yourself. You have no right to do so anyway. It is wrong to apply your will to other men or women in order to get them to do what you wish to be done. It is as frequently wrong to coerce people by mental power as it is to coerce them by physical power. If compelling people by physical force to do things for you reduces them to slavery, compelling them by mental means accomplishes exactly the same thing. The only difference is in the method. If taking things from people by physical force is robbery, then taking things by mental force is robbery. In other words, influence or influencers misleading you, misguiding you. What the book is saying here is that money comes through serving other people, not ripping off people. You don't need to lie. If you have a good work ethic and you're honest, you don't need to lie. You don't need to trick people. You need to work on yourself. He says, when you know not what to think and do, then you must use your will to compel yourself to think and to do the right things. That is the legitimate use of will in getting what you want. To use it in holding yourself to the right course. Use your will to keep yourself thinking and acting in a certain way. Go back to the previous chapter. I'm thinking in a certain way. Do not try to project your will or your thoughts or your mind out into space to act on things or people. Keep your mind at home. It can accomplish more there than anywhere else. Use your mind to form a mental image of what you want and to hold that vision with faith and purpose, and to use your will to keep your mind working in the right way. Originally, mine was to get 10 single-family houses, and I wanted $500,000 in dividend stocks. Now, that wasn't my very first goal. My very first goal was 5 houses and $25,000 in checking. And then I started learning about stocks, dividend stocks. I started buying houses 24 years ago. And listen, along that way, man, you're going to mess up, man. There's going to be problems. People are going to get sick. You might get sick. You might get injured. You might not feel good. The economy is going to go up and down, man. Listen, the economy is going to crash at some point. It's going to turn around. You get to decide right now how you're going to handle that. And that doesn't look like getting out of stocks. It looks at positioning your portfolio that when that comes, you have hedges and you have things that go up. Losing your job does not mean that your investments or your net worth stops going up. Detach these things. Your investments are an asset. And there's going to be times when you might not have the money to add to them. But it's still your responsibility to just hold them, man, to manage them. And in the 3 years, I've had multiple businesses. But one of my businesses went out. And to be honest, man, I just did whatever I had to do. I just woke up every day grateful, believing, money, opportunity, prosperity is just as much mine as anyone else's. And, that I want it. And through me, through people like me, the universe, God, whatever, can bless other people through prayers, And so, that's all you can do. And for me, I used jobs to make money, to take the money, to buy real estate, to take the cash flow, to park it into dividend stocks, to create these multiple streams, and then to manage the assets myself with family. And through that process, man, market cycles. Housing prices go up, they go down. Rents go up. It's not always roses, man. And you can have lots of trouble in the midst of that. You get 10, 15, 20 properties. You have properties in multiple states. You're managing all your other assets. These things don't give a fuck what's going on with your mom or your brother or this bullshit over here. America's just going to trudge along. The business cycle ain't waiting if it's convenient for you. And so you're going to have all this shit come at you. And that's why you got to have a philosophy. And that's why there's 2 chapters in here on will. Man, you have to use it on you. Meaning you got to get prepared. Mom, dad, business owner. The more steady and continuous your faith and purpose, the more rapidly you will get rich, because you will make only positive impression upon substance, and you will not neutralize or offset them by negative impressions. As this impression spreads, all things are set in motion toward its realization. Every living thing, every inanimate thing, and the things yet uncreated are stirred toward bringing that to being, that which you want. Now that's just, dude, that's just flowery language. That's just poetic language. He's writing, he's an artist. And he's trying to tell you that you have to hold that. In other words, keep fucking thinking about it, right? It obsesses in your mind. That's how you get good. That's where mastery comes from. And man, you can do more, have more, and be more. You have way more potential than you're living up to. I mean, if you took a fucking day off last week, you have way more potential that you're just fucking off. You'd rather just spend it doing nothing, unproductive, providing nothing to society, but just resting than pursuing your dream. A lot of people doing that. A lot of guys tell me, oh, I'd love to trade full time and then take 2 fucking days a week off. Get out of here. You don't want to do shit. And that's true, man. That's one man to a man. Now I'm calling you out. You don't really want it. You're taking fucking days off. You don't have it. You must not want some things. Right? You wanted a radio show. You wanted to write a book. You wanted to do this. You want to create that. Well, you got all that time. Are you maximizing toward that? Or are you just doing your little job? Just one thing. Well, what do you think happens when you have a job and then you acquire 20 properties? Well, now you have a management company, 20 properties. You're dealing with contractors. And you have your little fucking job. So in order to do more, you have to become more in your mind first. That's what he's trying to set for you in the book. Meaning you can't believe in things that are. So you got to look at your life and you got to believe shit that just ain't possible, or you're just going to go fucking backwards. You need to think bigger. Stop thinking like a little. You know what I was about to say. Most of you are. Need to 10x your fucking goals, man. Seriously. And you need to start holding it in your mind. And you need to start making it clear. And look, you need to start writing that shit down. I filled these up, man. Look, note cards. These are just filled with stock stuff. I'm just always writing them, watching them, looking at them, adding them up, calculating my dividends, looking at charts, writing them down, watching the different sectors, right? As this impression spreads, all things are set moving toward its realization, meaning the thing you're holding in formless substance. Every living thing, every inanimate thing, and the things yet created are stirred toward bringing into being that which you want. All forces begin exerted in that direction. All things begin to move toward you. The minds of people everywhere are influenced toward doing the things necessary to fulfilling your desires, and they work for you unconsciously. All of the money that you want is in the pockets of other people. And what it's saying is you don't have to lie to them. You don't have to cheat them. You have to give them something of value. But you can check all this by, he says, so he's telling you, if you hold this thought, man, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter how bad it looks now, if you begin to play this game in your head, whatever it is you want to be a professional trader, whatever, okay? Say it's a stock trader or whatever it is, entrepreneur, writer, artist, musician. You just want to kick ass at work, top salesman, right? Whatever, just be better. Get into the money flow. He says, but be careful. You can check, meaning hold back, all of this by starting a negative impression in the formless substance. Doubt or unbelief is as certain to start a movement away from you as faith and purpose are to start one toward you. It is By not understanding this, that most people who try to make use of the mental science in getting rich make their failure. Every hour and moment you spend in giving heed to doubts and fears, every hour you spend in worry, every hour in which your soul is possessed by unbelief, sets a current away from you in the whole domain of intelligent substance. All the promises are unto them that believe, and unto them only. Believe. So it's what all that church stuff is about when you see me talking about the money flow. See, I believe that stocks go up 70% of the time. And that there's a thing called the business cycle. About every 5 to 7 years, stocks will have a big time correction. And the rest of the time, they'll have these little 5 and 10% corrections. And that's the fucking way stocks work. Okay? And most people don't know that. And they overreact at the wrong fucking time. And at the bottom, they sell because usually their buckets are wrong. And if they lose their job or whatever, they're not set up to be able to withstand the coming chaos. And then also, they're not prospering there in it. So they can't add to positions when they're lower. Everyone who went through the last stock crash could have got rich as fuck if you just put a lot of money in the stock market. And a lot of people put very little or none. And it keeps happening. It'll crash, go up. Go look at Bitcoin. Crash, it's this. But you got to believe. You got to have faith. That's what all that stuff is when it talks about the money flow. Since belief is all important, and it behooves you to guard your thoughts, and as your beliefs will be shaped by a very great extent by the things you observe and think about, it is important that you should command your attention. And here, the will comes into use. For it is by your will that you determine upon what things your attention shall be fixed. If you want to become rich, you must not study poverty. Things are not brought into being by thinking about the opposite. Health is never obtained by studying disease or thinking about disease. Righteousness is not promoted by studying sin and thinking about sin. And no one has ever got rich by studying poverty and thinking about poverty. Medicine as a science of disease has increased disease, and religion as a science of sin has promoted sin. And economics as a study of poverty will fill the world with wretchedness and want. Do not talk about poverty. Do not investigate it or concern yourself with it. Never mind what its causes are. You have nothing to do with them. What concerns you is the cure. Do not spend your time in charitable work or in charitable movements. All charity only tends to perpetuate the wretchedness it aims to eradicate. I do not say that you should be hard-hearted or unkind or refuse to hear the cry of need, but you must not try to eradicate poverty in any of the conventional ways. Put poverty behind you. Put all that pertains to you behind you and make good. Get rich. That is the best way you can help the poor. What he's trying to say there is, with your very little, there's not much you can do. But if you would put your focus onto becoming more, doing more, right? Pursuing that thing you've been called to do. The thing that you'll do for free is almost always the thing that'll pay you the most money. And you cannot hold the mental image, which is to make you rich, if you fill your mind with pictures of poverty. Do not read books or papers which give circumstantial accounts of the wretchedness and of the tenant dwellers, or the horrors of child labor, and so on. Do not read anything which fills your mind with gloomy images and want and suffering. You cannot help the poor in the least by knowing about these things. And the widespread knowledge of them does not tend at all to do away with it. What tends to do away with poverty is getting pictures of poverty out of your mind. But getting pictures of wealth into the mind of the poor. Let me read that again. What tends to do away with poverty is not getting pictures of poverty into your mind, but getting pictures of wealth into the minds of the poor. Meaning until they can see their circumstances bigger than they are, they can't get out of their circumstances. Same for you, man. Same for you. You can't buy a house if you can't see yourself owning 10 houses. And you can't make a $5,000 trade, You're never going to have a $25,000 day trader account if you think that's a lot of money when you should be thinking about it. You want a $250,000 trading account. That's the goal, not 25. You got to raise your fucking goals, man. It needs to be unfucking believable. And then apply faith and pursue it, believing that you're going to get it. What is the worst that can happen? What is the worst that could happen? So I'm going to leave you there, man. You have everything you need inside of you to have more, to do more, to be more. Shit's going to come at you. Get fucking ready. Be ready to lose your job. Know your net worth. How much debt do you have? What are your assets? How much liquid cash do you have? How many trades do you have going right now? If you don't have any trades in the stock market, why in the fuck not? It's money. It's right there. Everyone should be investing. Everyone should be in. Everyone should be trying to kill debt. Everyone should be trying to become a better person to have more so that you can give more. And to get out of your shithole and to get out of your head, the crap in your life, focus on someone else's. Try to help someone else. Provide value to other people. Find a way to serve people. Okay? That's what God wants, man. That's what blesses people. Do the right thing, man. Hit subscribe, click like. I appreciate you guys. Let me know what's up in the comments. Hey, if you don't have my free ebook, you don't have to die broke, you know what to do. Go hit it. Come on. Show me something. What's up?